Previously on Dances with Dice, when last we left our heroes, Felix, the human bard, Doran, the Ganassi fighter, and Theo, the Satyr ranger. The aftermath of family reunions are always awkward. But that's no reason to stop now, is it? As our heroes plan their next steps, what new twists and turns await them this week on Dances with Dice?
All right. So we return. You find yourself sitting at this long table. A glorious spread of food before you. The Averyman sitting there in fine white linen, a full three-piece suit, golden tie, golden bow tie, untied, so just kind of laying there like you would see at a post-show, like post-award show party. They are in their male-presenting form. However, they have opted to heterochromia their eyes. One of them green. One of them... I'm sorry, no, one of them a bright, almost ice blue. The other is like a swirling purple, almost galaxy-like effect. And they motion to you. It's like, please, sit, eat, be merry. A great many things have occurred today.
That's putting it mildly.
Oh, Felix. No need to be coy. I think, if anything, you're among friends here. Looks at you, Theo. Isn't that right, Theo?
Of course.
So, Felix, how are we feeling?
Exhausted and like I need to be approximately this much further into this wine glass for this conversation.
Very well. Two can play at this game. Theo? What would you say you saw Felix do during that battle down in that dreary and dreadful basement of yours?
Theo kind of shifts uncomfortably in her chair. And then looks at Felix.
He's not meeting her eyes.
I saw him cast a new spell.
Oh, that he did. And I'm very proud of our boy for that. You see, I always had an interesting little theory about divinity. I've been around long enough. I've seen gods rise and fall. Well, people thought they were gods. You know the types. They get a local following. You gather up 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 villages of angry little peasants at your beck and call. And you walk right on up to the mean old capital, try to overthrow the government, but it turns out your grievances were easily fixed by a little handout or, some more help on the farm, and really you're just a minor political leader at that point. But they think themselves these greater things, and if you observe that just enough, well, you start to see interesting patterns. And he sort of like holds his hand out and you watch as like electricity sort of like flicks in between each individual finger. He sort of like hops it over to the other hand. It turns into fire. Because there's a power in mortals that they don't realize they have. It is from the creations, he sort of motions to the two of you, that Creator's power springs. Tell me, Theo, what do you think happens when a god dies?
Like what happens to the god?
Just what do you think happens in general? A lot of things happen when a god dies. Do you think their powers go away? Do you think another god maybe rises to take their place? What? Have you ever even given thought?
I've hardly paid any attention to the gods, to be honest. My only gods growing up were the dragons.
That's fair. I suppose you might not be the best person to ask this question to. And granted, it's not like the gods have necessarily ever done much for you, or he, or they, or even Diaphinian. But that leads me to another question. If we stop worshipping the gods, what happens? Or, counter, when someone else or something else is worshipped?
Well, it sounds like you're implying that gods only have the power for when they're being worshipped. If no one worships them, then they've no power at all.
Indeed. Hit it right on the head. Because I discovered something so very long ago. It's very difficult to become a god. Very difficult indeed, actually. Almost impossible. You see, you have to find a way to breach that little metaphysical barrier. That little in-between point between divine and mortal. And I realized something. Money gets you a lot of things. Because you're giving patronage. You get power, you get access, you get, well, the world at your fingertips. And then patronage. Patronage is an easy way to gather power and favors and large numbers of people owing you something. All it takes is one little bargain. And that which is physical becomes metaphysical. So I'll ask you again, Thea. You saw dear Felix cast a different sort of spell. You've been around bards all your life. I think you know what a bard looks like. What did Felix actually do?
Before she can say anything, I fire Eldritch Blast, and I make it's in his direction, but I'm not even aiming at him. It's like over his shoulder at the wall behind him.
You hold your hand out and the Eldritch Blast leaves your hand and it stops about half an inch from like your palm, just sort of sitting there, this like chaotic like mishmash of random shapes, letters, symbols, and numbers as like basically the personification of chaos sort of floats in a whirling ball, like sort of right above the mashed potatoes. It's like, Felix. Be careful of the hand that feeds, lest it bites you. And you take 7 points of psychic damage.
Oops.
The orb sort of dissipates and shrinks down and disappears. Oh, you're no fun. The metaphor wasn't even over yet. Oh well. Felix, I do have to thank you. Because without you, Step 2 never happens. I've been stuck on step 1 for centuries. Do you know how much power, how much influence, how much money I had to spend to sink my fingers into enough things so that just favors counted as magical divine energy? My God. So thank you. Oh, you're going to be my favorite for a long time. But it's not a one-way street. In fact, it's impossible for it to be that. He snaps his fingers again. You feel your health restore. I am here to aid you, Felix, as I always have. Our relationship's just a little more symbiotic now. Because the truth remains the truth. If the world is destroyed in dark, fiery evil from some ancient draconic god, I go with it. Not divine yet being that operative word. But I live on this world just as much as the rest of you, and so I'm going to help you save it. But you're going to help me too.
Fine.
Excellent. And as a gift, because that's the joy of newfound power, Felix, do you remember when I told you all those months ago how your curse was effectively unbreakable? The original holder of the contract having died? That's the joy of patronage. He holds up his fingers, like in a close snap. Say the word. And I will lift your curse.
What's the catch?
You'll have to find out. Because like I said, the truth is the truth. We talked about this. I can lift your curse. Reality hasn't changed. They still left you. They still abandoned you. So, you know reality. Now you can just make reality reflect your own mirror.
Thought we had trust. And you're still playing these fucking games with me.
I promised you I would never lie to you from that moment forward. I haven't lied. Your family abandoned you. That remains truthful. Have you seen a single wanted poster that isn't more than 2 years old? Have you seen a single request in any god post throughout the land? Ask your friend Doran. When last anyone searched for so-and-so of Covenheim, the long-lost child? I haven't lied. Reality is cruel. Would you like to be cruel back?
You know what you're asking me.
I do. It's a decision that will stand. He sort of separates his fingers and you watch like a spark of power sort of dissipate. You don't have to make the decision now. I just wanted to show you that our relationship doesn't have to be fraught. We are friends.
I disagree when you made it not a private conversation.
I brought your conscience along with you. You're rather unequipped when she's not here. Sort of motions to Theo.
Theo is sitting here awkwardly.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk morals with the leader of a thief network.
Morality, as it always has been, is flexible. Have I ever stolen from somebody lesser than me? No. I deal in the powerful and the rich and those with enough to lose. I'm not an idiot. Favors flow upward, not downward. What can a peasant offer me that I don't already know? And if I need it, I'll get it. The echelons is where you make your money, darling. And you know that as well as I.
You just had to find the right idiot with something to lose and that had something that you would hold over their head.
That's how all bargains work, darling. You didn't have to say yes. I understand you're mad, but I never tricked you. The simple fact that you refused to ask a question after you heard what you wanted is a fault of your own, not mine. Like I said, I will never lie to you. But that doesn't mean you actually want to know the truth.
Fine. Show me. Show me the truth. Let me see it.
You... Hang on, give me 1 second. I need to find yours real quick. Very well. And he's like, and he looks at, everyman looks at you. It's like, oh, darling. It's the choice of words every time. And he snaps his fingers, and you watch as everyman's face melts away. And, Felix, you would absolutely recognize the long lost face of your long lost eldest brother, Adrian, sitting there in front of you. Theo, please roll me a history check with advantage.
Okay.
Fuck.
Right. Plus. Plus. Alright, seeing that. 16.
16. With a 16, you remember very famously the kidnapping and eventual disappearance of one of the first child of the Penvellen family of Covenheim. They were a lesser noble family prior to the end of the war. However, in the years after, because of the family's ties to construction, they became huge in regards of rebuilding the city and the empire post-war. Very famously, their first son, Adrian, was kidnapped out of their home in broad daylight while both parents were at the home. They were cleared of all wrongdoing. It was assumed that, you know, it might have been some sort of fake kidnapping or anything like that, but they have not been seen for almost the last 37 years. And Felix, you would you see the face of your brother sitting there. You recognize your father's jaw, your mother's eyes, and sits there. It's like, hello. It's been so long. Thank you. Theo, if you have one of those monocles I gave you all those months ago, I'd put them on right now. It might mean a little more.
I don't have the monocles. They were left with Felix. Theo left the monocle with Felix, didn't she?
Huh?
I don't remember that.
Let me double check. I can try checking my notes in that discussion.
I know, I'm pretty sure that Felix gave it to you, but it was like you had told Felix, like, it is your choice when I use it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Sounds right to me.
Okay. Then I trust you guys to remember better than me. I'm not going to unless Felix wants me to.
Well, Felix, should we bring her in on the joke?
Fine.
Go ahead.
I mean, it sounds like Felix is in duress.
I mean, if by duress you mean just pissed.
Yeah, like,
He's not happy.
it doesn't sound like he actually wants her to do it.
Felix's mental state is, it doesn't matter. He will sit us at this fucking table until we do it.
Okay, then Theo's gonna do it.
As you put the monocle on, you watch in a similar way, the face that you have always seen of Felix melts away.
I thought Felix always looked like Felix. I thought it was a different thing.
Ezra, please describe your true face.
Honestly, not that different. It is just a matter of, like, the features weren't quite there. Like, still blonde, still purple eyes, like... If it was in a lineup, you'd be able to tell the faces apart, but, like... It's not to the point where it's like it's a brand new person, but... There was clearly, like... some distinct differences.
It's almost like, I feel like almost like the jawline sharpens a little, the nose shape adjusts slightly, your eyes maybe soften a bit.
You wouldn't notice family resemblance before, and now.
Was it more of like a magical sort of thing happening that made him unrecognizable more so than actual face difference?
Yeah, it's like the curse is forcing you to see him differently than they actually are. That's why the true sight monocle allows you to see past the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look upon these two faces, you can see the Penvellin recognition, and then you can almost see it's like, oh yeah, no, this is a younger version. It's like, and Averyman looks at you, Theo. It's like, my younger brother Ezra. Oh gods, it feels so good to actually be able to say your name again. Do you know how difficult it was to keep this charade up all this time? My goodness.
Do I hear that word, or is it like more staticky? Because I'm assuming the curse is still thing when with the monocle on and within this room, it appears that whatever new powers Averyman or Adrian have unlocked seems to be overpowering the curse, at least slightly. You are able to perceive these sort of differences within this realm.
Trying to find my own fucking backstory so I can check something.
Me all the time.
Oh.
What's the name of my mom again?
5 fucking years. And this is when I hear my own goddamn name again.
Well, I
You
mean,
being a fucking character.
I mean, isn't that what we all are, Ezra? The world's the stage, we the players, something, something. Bill Shakespeare?
How dare you canonize Shakespeare to our D&D campaign?
Did you say Bill Shakespeare?
Yeah, Bill Shakespeare.
Bill Shakespeare.
Billy Shakespeare here
Billy-
with another
Billy
fantastic poem.
Shakespeare.
With a
Guys,
brand new
I've done it
sonnet.
again.
He looks. I mean, look at you. You had the perfect face, name, ability to blend into anything, and what did you do? Became a musician. A life of crime and thievery, back alley deals, and easiest dollar you've ever made in your life waiting for you, and what did you do? And you call me dramatic. Oh, brother mine. You have no idea the world that you have stepped yourself into. But that's okay. You don't need to. You and Theo and Doran and all your friends, I'm not going to ruin anything. I'm not even going to stand in the way of you saving the world. I need the world saved. Step 3 is still divinity. But now I can help you a little bit more along the way. And at the end of all of this, he just holds his fingers up again. At the end of it all, I think a visit home might be in order. If you want. I feel as though I'd just love to see the look on the faces of those who, because, well, let's be real. They had enough of us. They could afford to lose us. I don't think that's right. Do you? Do you, Theo?
I have my own family issues. I do not believe I am in a position to comment on this one.
God, she really is useless as a conscience. Snaps his fingers, and Theo, you zip out of existence, and you land yourself back in the center square of Tolinen Fortress.
All because I was trying to support Felix and not force him to talk about things
You
he didn't
got
want
no
to in front
out
of
of the
her.
conversation.
Yep. All because I was trying to be supportive of Felix.
Can't
Yeah.
have that at all.
You're supposed to push me towards.
We can't
decisions
have
wanted for
you
me.
causing them to make decisions that are good
I don't
for
have any
them.
wants for Felix besides what Felix wants to do. Theo has no wants for Felix besides Felix doing what Felix wants to do.
Felix.
I am not gonna. No, Theo's had enough of being someone's like, I made you do this. I convinced you to. No, you chose to do this. Theo will not be pointed at later on down the line. Said you made me do this. No, make your own damn character decisions.
Felix / Ezra, you find yourself sitting at this table now with your brother. It's like, well, I've said everything I need to say. Is there anything you need to get off your chest before we get you back to your day job?
I'm frustrated the way you chose to play this out,
That's fair.
but I was going to die out there.
Indeed you
Maybe
were.
not in that fight, but I couldn't have done it. And if you, or the universe, or some piece of fate chooses to be a real bastard and continues to put me on this path, then I need something.
He's gonna stand up and walk over to you, kind of put a hand on your shoulder, look at you. It's like, you need the help. And the only thing that's changed about our relationship now is you know who you're working for. Your level of comfort and your desire to do the jobs that I was going to offer you, I imagine, remains at about the same. So we're going to work on that level of comfort. I promise you. Your ends and mine align. And should they not, cross that bridge when we get there. You are my brother first and foremost, Ezra. The fact that we have a little quid pro quo going on right now won't change that.
It's not quite how I imagined getting my family's approval, but
Oh, they'll approve.
here we are.
Ezra. We'll make them. Anyway, you have your friends and a world to save. Ta-ta. And you find yourself warped back out. And as you land, Theo, about like maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds have passed, and then popping right next to you is Felix. In his full
Am
Felix.
I still holding the glass of wine?
You are still holding the glass of wine. In their full Felixy self, the curse has reapplied. If you are still wearing the monocle, you can see them. But
I like the idea that Theo had been like, she had like a piece of steak on a fork when she had said that. So when she got poofed, she was in like the sitting position without a chair and plopped onto her butt, and she's just sitting here with a fork with a cut of steak on it on the ground, just like plop, falls back.
And some
He was
guard
upset.
witnesses this and just goes,
He was
It
upset.
just walks
when he
away.
told you, you have the fork, but there's not the bite of steak on it.
Aw.
just a fork.
Aw.
Looks down.
He kept the steak. The steak just plopped onto the floor in every man's place. It's just this little cube of steak plap.
and you're just like, oh, that was Wagyu.
It made like a little meat sound as it hit the floor.
Yes, you
Super
were
Meat
both-
Boy sound effect.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the Super Meat Boy hitting the wall sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you
Theo's
pop
like
up,
just getting up off the dirt ground with a fork in her hand.
and then the same thing happens to Felix as it lands like boom on your butt. Still a glass of wine in your hand, sort of sloshes around.
Aw, he got to keep his wine.
It's because he likes me.
Oh, but did you say that in character?
Yes.
It's because he likes me. Well,
Looks at
still
fork, looks at wine. What? You know, gives like the what face. It's like, he likes me.
I suppose that governor.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. I
I'm
suppose-
cultured.
I'm coffee, I'm uncultured. Well, I suppose that's what brothers are for.
Like, you have room to talk.
I don't have any
But he
brothers.
doesn't really mean it in a mean way. He's more being a dick, like,
Yeah.
for funsies.
Yeah.
I'll say, for the sake of brevity, you guys are able to make your way back to the castle. Throughout all of this, we'll say like the time spent and all of like this, all the shenaniganery. A full day passes. You all are able to get your long rest and are able to heal, get your spell slots back.
You know what's really convenient about all this? Doran is from Covenheim, too. I get 2 backstories for the price of 1.
Jesus Christ.
Theo gets to take a backseat. Fuck you guys.
It's just like Theo's
I'm-
just sitting. Theo's sitting at the breakfast table.
Finally, it's
I
not
am-
about me anymore.
I checked the polls. I did a little canvassing. They're sick and tired of Theo. They want the boys.
I'm just imagining at breakfast Theo sitting there like posing, just, we should go to Covenheim. I am struck by this inspiration right now.
Yeah.
And then like
We
stops
should go there,
posing,
even
comes
though
back
we might be wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to the place where we're definitely wanted
We
criminals.
might be wanted. You mean definitely?
To be fair, we're wanted most places right now.
Yeah.
This is
We're
true.
just so
We're
sad.
in, like,
Are we
the
not
one
wanted
place
anywhere?
where-
Like,
We're safe in Twin
Ooh.
Fortress, but
This is true.
Tiny
Twin
Walls.
Fortress
Back.
is also like
plan this city. Like, we've got like.
You're safe
We
in
got
Talinen
Talinen
Fortress,
Fortress,
the Warm Speaker
Warm
Fortress,
Speaker.
and you've got the Vampire Castle that's under the mountain.
Yes.
You have 3 safe places you can go. They are all castles.
I mean,
Awesome.
yeah, it sounds like a win for us.
anytime we go anywhere, it's gonna be like, like.
I mean, I'm very obvious pointing at
Points-
unicorn. Pointing
Um,
at unicorn horn. Very obvious person. Alert.
then there's me, who's
Dorn
some
points
guy.
at
Some guy.
Dorn points literally at his face, and it's like, you know, with the blue skin and the like hair that never seems to stop blowing.
Yeah,
Like-
blue skin, and he's always got the dramatic flip of the hair, like that's just on at all times.
And Felix is just a guy.
And
Yes.
Felix is some guy. Like he is
And
some
Peggy.
dude. And
I'm
Peggy.
just Ken.
Anywhere else?
And you've got and Nori.
That's
I
all
will
had
say
no right to be so good.
breakfast the next day. It is Doran, Nori, Felix, and Theo sitting there. Aiden has gone off to meet with like kind of like the commanders, gather some intelligence.
Please tell me Nori still has the spear.
Nori, of course, still has the spear. She's clutching that. She's holding on
Theo
to that
tried
thing
to
like
take
Gollum
it.
with the fucking ring. Like
Theo
she
tried to
is-
take it, and she was like, "No."
It's like Doran gave it to me. It's a present. It's her emotional security spear.
I named him Reggie.
Emotional support spear.
It's her emotional support spear. If you take it from her, she starts crying.
It gets its own chair, and she has like a spoon, and she pretends to feed it.
But you were all sitting at the table. Aiden has gone off to gather some intelligence. Your grandfather Archibald, he has decided to opt and take the risk of trying to see if he can raise support in the surrounding areas where his name still carries weight.
Where he's while being totally blind.
Blind
He-
people can do things, Hannah.
I'm
He
just
has-
worried
You
about him.
ableist fuck.
I'm
He
just
has been
worried
given-
about him. What if they sneak up on him? He's so old.
He's okay. Yes, he is very old, but like he's got
Blind
that.
people are very capable, but he's a very old man.
He also
he's not
is
like
still,
a sick.
he's still the head of
He's
the
not like
guard.
a cool person
Like,
with
he-
blind sight who's like, damn. But he's such an old man.
It's like Theo's out here worrying about her grandpa, whereas like this
People
is
can
her.
do things, you ageist fuck.
It's like also like again, like, canonically her grandpa is like oh god, her grandpa is like canonically if you took who's the dude from Full Metal Alchemist, like the big blonde dude just punches everything. I cannot remember his name for the life of me.
Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Her grandfather is canonically Armstrong, but like Armstrong when he's 80. So like he's still very respected and got it going. But yes, he is a little older. He does equip himself.
Forgive me for being worried.
Aiden does equip him for his journey. He's given traveling clothes and like things like that. He's given weapons and things like that. He is also given a special bandana. He is given a bandana of true sight, so that when he wraps it around
Okay.
his face, he is able to see again. And
Okay.
he, and since you never
He
gave
looks
me a
very
class, and since
looks
you never
very
gave me a
sick.
class for him, he's a monk. He's basically Daredevil now.
Oh, cool. Okay, he can do that.
He is for anyone asking, Archibald Liqueur is a level 16 way of the fist monk.
He could kill any of us.
Exactly. He's fine.
Well, now that he knows where we are,
He could snap me like
No-
a twig.
now that he's got his sick ass 2B blindfold,
Now that
I
he's
can do it
too
without
beat
the
up.
blindfold. You look at Felix and you tell me that man couldn't be snapped like a twig.
you just put him in the general direction. Felix breathes and he's like, I know where you are.
It's like Felix exhales a little too loudly, like the finger goes over Felix's lips.
Hush. I now know everything about you from how you breathed.
But he will head off and try to raise some additional help for you, and see if this civil war could be a little bit less one-sided. But yeah, you guys find yourself at the breakfast table, able to kind of lay out and sort of plan what you want to do. To remind you guys of kind of the moving pieces, you do have Tillinen Fortress that you can, not sorry, Tillinen. You have Wormspeaker Fortress you can always return to. You do still have, hang on, need to.
2 eggs.
Yeah, you still have 2 eggs. You still
Though
have
I
2
think
dragon eggs.
those are with Dashgaram.
Yes, they are
We
with.
left those with Dashgaram, so I don't have to carry that box on my back anymore.
No, you do
Fuck.
not.
My special box.
You're like, my emotional support box.
My special
like-
box that I kept on my back. My Demon Slayer box.
It's more like emotional distress box.
Yeah, honestly though. Don't think about the box. Don't think about the box.
Yeah,
Don't think about what's in the
seriously.
box.
Don't think about not thinking about what's in the box.
Right? Fuck, I did it! No,
Oh god.
But no, and then there is also you can always return back to of course the vampires as they and Bean, Harlequin and Bean, so that you guys can be able to see if they have been able to discover anything. Yeah, that
Also, Doran's like a bit curious, but also like he's like, what happened in there? Do I need to know,
Usual
or can I
FMV
just
bullshit.
dissociate from that man?
You can continue to dissociate.
That would make you happy.
Cool, Doran's gonna do that. He doesn't.
You want to know about my daddy issues?
What?
Then you don't
Checks
need to
in.
know what we talked about.
You won't tell
Fair.
him.
Fair. Okay.
Does
Doran's
that
like, I've
not
had enough.
cover the conversation?
Doran's finally settling from just the literal storm of shit that has like come into his life in the past like month, and he's just
The
like,
nightmare he's
yeah, no,
currently living.
I have a choice. Yeah, no, I don't need more. I don't need more right now. Like,
he's out here just like, wait a minute, this is something I don't need to know. Sign me the fuck up.
Right.
Ignorance is bliss. He's here
Yes.
for a good time.
I'm sure if it was important and I needed to know, you'd let me know. I'm going to trust you on that. That's why I also kind of was kind of barely half listening to what you guys were saying, because I wanted the option to be like, I don't really even want to know. Like,
I took notes.
Perfect.
I actually like it. I actually love being able to do that. Like, if characters go off somewhere, I'm just like, cool, I'm just gonna not kind of pay attention so that my
Yeah.
character doesn't actually know this information, because they don't.
Also, just to remind you guys as well, you do still have waiting for you back at, with Bean and the vampire, Braneth, the drow or the first draconic person you sort of rescued is still with
right.
them.
Okay.
We've got
Go
options.
check on.
How do we want to move forward in this
Yeah.
civil
We have
war?
so many options, and nothing is like dire. Is the
Yeah,
problem?
nothing's-
Well, okay. So if we one in-game reason, like, okay, so obviously we have like our reasons for going to see the vampire people, and I'm going to talk in my normal voice for this.
Mhm.
We have reasons to go see the vampires, the vampire and Bean, and we have maybe reason to go see Dashgaram, but it'd be probably more of an update. I don't know if he has anything new to provide to us. because I don't know if any of us have done anything that means we're going to get a new dragon egg to hatch.
Yeah.
One reason, and I know that I'm just pushing this because I want to, one reason to go to Covenheim is that that I don't know what the story is on Felix. Obviously, I don't know the full story background. But as far as Theo knows, it sounds like we have 2 people from Covenheim, and Covenheim would be a huge get for if there was a civil-esque war type thing. Getting the military or the aristocrats or whatever, the higher upper people to side with them
Real quick.
would be a huge get. And I've got
Also-
2 people. One of them, I've got the implication that one of them is of noble birth. Don't know the full.
Birth who can't use it. I'm
Well,
still
Doran-
Well,
Doran-
you could
Doran
ask
also-
every man to fix that.
Well, Doran also, like, even though his shit's plastered over everywhere, like, it's kind of one of those things where military people tend to stick together,
Exactly.
and they're
that's
not
the
gonna
other
they're
thing.
not gonna rat me out. If anything, they would probably help me.
Yeah, Exactly.
You
So
know,
that's
or at least ones that that could be horribly wrong, and they would run into some problems. But I do feel like there are some people who I could,
Yeah.
and maybe we could drum up support or have
Yeah.
or
Or you
set
could
up
at least
our
do
own.
recon.
Yeah.
If Felix's family doesn't recognize, we could just do recon on his family and maybe use Felix's knowledge of his family.
Well,
to
I don't
get
know any
them
of that.
to-
I don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
okay.
I know.
So, okay, real quick, just so because this
get them
is
to
a
side with
planning
us.
session. This is a planning session. Aiden will return to you guys with some intelligence, basically a little bit later in breakfast. The intelligence laid out before you. Mara Shane is effectively Talinan Fortress for your mother's base of force. So Mara Shane,
Pretty much
100%,
capital for us.
100% off limits. You guys are not getting in there safely at all. In terms of other cities, the Royal Aftermiria Mines have very specifically declared neutrality, with the important caveat that, and this kind of, and you would all remember this from like the story, the reason that the like caverns and like the mines are so deep is because when Aftermiria is overcharged with magical ability, it basically turns into a bomb. So the Royal Aftermiria Mines have basically come out and say, any military force who approaches us will be attacked equally. We cannot have an underground nuke effectively go off because of a fight. Like
If you guys come up on here,
Fair
they're
enough.
Switzerlanding the fuck out of themselves.
they're like, if you come over here, we might explode. Literally,
the-
and then no one will be happy.
The farmers in the Lifeblood Basin have also sort of kind of declared neutrality, but given how close they are to Talinan Fortress and how much there is a symbiotic nature there, and the fact that many of the soldiers come from the basin, the Lifeblood Basin and like basically the entire surrounding area of Talinan Fortress is kind of yours. Covenheim is sort of an unknown. Ardenvale is an unknown. Evercrown is obviously where your grandfather was stationed as the captain of the guard there, and that is the first place that your grandfather has stated he is heading to see if he cannot rally some assistance there and at least ensure that the northern sort of triangle of those 3 cities might not be as strong. Covenheim is sort of up in a murmur. They were attacked by the dragons. They haven't really rebuilt as much. Most of the effort has gone towards Marishane, so there's some rumblings with the city of Covenheim, where at least the general populace is not as happy in these following months from this draconic attack.
The capital let them down. We could flip the script.
But yeah, those are sort of like that's sort of like the general.
We go to Covenheim and start a revolution, start some discourse.
And even if Felix's parents and family don't recognize them, you still have knowledge of how your family operates. He still has knowledge of how they operate and what would sway them. And if we got their favor, they might spread it amongst the nobles. But I also don't know Felix's backstory per se, so I actually don't know what these people are like. So I'm running with the basic knowledge that Theo now has is that he comes from a noble family, and that this family Zachary, I swan to John. People listening, Zachary just got up and did a little dance.
I'm so happy. It's just story stuff is starting to like unravel, and I've been sitting on it for months.
I know that.
Happy.
So I don't know what they're like. So maybe they're really, really bad, shitty, horrible, awful, scum of the earth people.
And we should.
But Theo doesn't know that.
You know, they have 2 children that are dissociated from them. Like,
and it sounds like they have a lot of children. So maybe it sounds like they have a lot of them, but the implication Adrian gave is that they have a lot of children. So maybe the other children in that family are also disquieted with their parents, and we can overthrow your parents. I don't know what's happening. I literally have no idea. This is all just theory. This is theory, complete theory.
This is all out of character theory.
This is all. I have no idea what the fuck is going on with those people.
So I will say,
but
this.
I know that rich people have sway in the government of their cities.
I will lay out your options. So, in terms of what you have, and also remember this: your travel time matters too. You are in Linen Fortress. You have safe teleportation to Marcus and Bean, to Wormspeaker Fortress, and to Linen Fortress. To go to Covenheim, Marishane, Evercrown, any of those places, you would have to travel overland or Dragonback, which is not viable for all 3 of you.
Let's not get shot out of the sky and pull a Daenerys.
Yeah. People are gonna notice.
People will notice a big dragon flying overhead. But yeah, so those are your options. And anywhere that you can teleport, anywhere that you have teleportation access, can be multiple places. You can go up to 3 teleports in a day. So if you wanted to take a day trip to check in on all of your bits and bobs, you can totally do that. And then if you want to go to Covenheim after that, you can. But just kind of to give you an idea of what your transport options are and like your travel times, anything beyond your network is an overland travel.
So Dorn makes the suggestion that we should, like in character, like he's like, I think we should check in with seeing how things have developed. We should check in with all of our allies, because we have few. But I do think the rumblings and the discord and the fact that they haven't fully committed to Covenheim might be an option to recruit an ally. But we'd have to be very careful. I think I might know some people who might be able to help us.
I agree with this plan. Covenheim would be a massive win for our side, I guess, if we're going to call it that.
Felix?
I'm not psyched about it, but you make a good point.
All right. I think the order in which we should do this, wherever we end up last, should be wherever is closest, obviously, to Covenheim. So travel is going to be a thing.
To answer that question, that would be visiting Harlan and Bean last, as their castle is located near the Royal Aftermiria Mines, which is the furthest north.
This is true.
Perfect.
Okay, so then it would just be a choice of, so you guys would then be heading to Wormspeaker first, back to Linen Fortress, in case there's anything you want to wrap up here, and then on to Bean and Harlan. And with that, I will say you guys are able to finish your breakfast. You say goodbye to Aiden. because it is just a normal spear and not magical at all, it will not work with teleportation. So Nori very
No, I think it'd be
begrudgingly-
funny. They don't know that, so they're clutching it, and then the teleportation happens, and the spear just hits the ground, and they appear, and they're like, no.
Yeah, it's no, actually, you know what? That's even better, Alex. So it's just like yeah, you guys stand in the teleportation circle. The spear is left behind. You guys transport. You land in the courtyard of Wormspeaker Fortress, and it's very much the scene from DBZ where 16's head gets crushed, and it's just like Nori falls to her knees, head back.
Someone's
Just-
just screaming like someone's dead
It's just like
in her
someone's been
in her
shot.
grandpa's house.
Dash Gar, and you watch as Dash Garum like bursts through the ceiling, and like his giant dragon force. What has happened? Who has harmed my? Why is Nori screaming?
Like Doran raises his finger to say something, and then just goes, Theo.
Remembers he got slapped last time.
It's like opens his mouth. Then it's like Fortunate Son starts playing. The flashbacks happens. Yeah, Theo, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Theo, what did you do? She got very attached to a spear. A spear. It's not here anymore. Or lance. Was it a
Oh.
lance or a spear? One of those things.
He shrinks down. He comes walking out.
It did not
and
come through
He comes walking out. It's like,
with the bolt.
yes, Nori, and she's like blubbering on the ground. It's like, it's like, unfortunately, Nori, unless an item is magical, or you yourself, it can't come through here.
Oh
child.
fuck! My socks weren't magical.
It's like, you don't
I think
wear
it works
shoes. You
different-
have
I
goat
think-
feet.
I think it works differently with Nori because they are like a
My very
creature.
special
like,
grippy
so they-
toes socks.
You have
I just
goat
want to
feet.
feel like a normal person.
He hands Nori. It's way too big for her. He hands Nori like an actual like dragon rider's lance. It's like about like and so she's like, oh, it's much bigger. She like runs off with it.
Is this the equivalent of giving a child a gun?
We have to take Theo to a farrier and get
Yeah.
horseshoes put on you.
Do we have to do that every so often? Do they have to go get their shoes
I don't
changed?
love that. I'll be real with you. I don't love that. I don't love it. That feels like a fetish. Whoever has that job,
Pick out a horse's hooves. Do you carry a pick with you to pick out your own hooves?
I don't want to talk about this. Theoretically, she must, because you guys probably have nail clippers to cut your nails. So, well, she has nails too, but they're on her hands. So she just has
I'm
another
just
thingy that she
imagining
uses
Theo-
for her
Pile
hoof care.
hooves too.
I'm just imagining a full ass farrier kit in Theo's like backpack. It's just like
Pink. You gotta have someone else do
She has
that.
her own shoes. She puts her own horseshoes on.
yeah, she hand forges, paints, and applies her own horseshoes. Thank
She
you
does
very
it
much.
herself. Thank you.
You think she got money for that?
I think Theo's
Also
are
don't-
like gold or like gilded. They've got like, you know.
She's got the pink shoes for Friday night. She's got the gold shoes for Saturdays.
For the
She's
Pink
got
Pony Club.
exactly. She's part of you guys, and as Nori goes running off with her new dragon lance, that is where we will end our session for today. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Dances with Dice. Please follow us on all social media channels at Dances with Dice. And when you use the hashtag DWDcast or DWDart, we will try to use you as named NPCs in the show. Thank you all so much for joining us, and join us every single Tuesday for new episodes of Dances with Dice. Hello, everybody. It's your DM, Dr. Mongoose here, wanting to give a shout out to Nat20 Dicery on all social medias and their Etsy shop. They produced the official dice of Felix Faircourt, and while they are not sponsoring this episode, we just wanted to give them a shout out because of the amazing work that they have done. That is Nat20 Dicery on Etsy and all social media channels.